Okay, so my first question to you is, how can a parent balance their own healing journey while ensuring they provide a safe and nurturing environment for their children? I wish I had this about 30
Absolutely.
years ago.
I think it's being present. Kids really connect with this and our energy and our emotions and our reactions. And so if you have your own stuff, like trauma or stress or just limiting beliefs, they will unintentionally shape your parenting, right? And so I think knowing what's happening with you, what things have you been through that you have that are unresolved, and it's okay.
Hmm.
And it's just realize that it's like start to resolve them, start to fix it, start to figure out how to get it right within you so it doesn't affect your parenting and your kids don't have to grow up with your unresolved trauma over your parenting.
Right, right, right. I mean, self awareness is such, I talk about that all the time, and that's really the first thing that we need, you know. And as a parent, I mean, is your reaction to the child's mistake over the top, or is it line up with the mistake, right? So, and if it's over the top, that's where you kind of really need to take a step back and kind of look at yourself, right?
Right. And I think a lot of times if we've had a lot of childhood trauma or we've had a lot of negative experiences growing up, that we can sometimes live in a state of fight flight and not even realize
True.
it. And so we're constantly in this fear state in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't even realize it. So I think just even taking a step back and being like, am I living like that? Am I living in survival mode? And I think all of us do it at times,
Sure, sure.
but doing it with your parenting? Are you able to parent not in that way, parent in a love, not fear way,
Right.
uh, with patience and clarity and all the things that are hard to do if you're living in that fight flight?
Yeah, because I raised my son, I was definitely in survival mode. I did
Mhm.
have some awareness, and there were moments of clarity, and I the thing I am grateful that I did is that I recognized when I made mistakes with him, and I always owned up to it and always was vocal with him.
And that's so good. That's the repair piece that kids need. And when they can see you do that, it's sort of what we just talked about they see you're not perfect and it's okay. And you're like taking the responsibility.
Yeah,
And like, man, you
yeah, and
know?
the respect, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember, you know, there was one incident where, you know, I was ready to kind of blow up at him. I don't know, this is such a weird thing. I was ready to blow up at him for something, and I never did that really. And just as I was ready to kind of, I started laughing. It was the most bizarre response. It was a saving response, really, you know.
Yeah.
And the look on his face, he went from what's going on, and then all of a sudden he started laughing. And then I said to him, I said, honey, I'm so sorry. I said, I'm so glad I stopped myself, but let's not have this conversation right now. Okay, let's just set it aside and do what we need to do, and then we'll finish it. And he was so relieved, but it was such a weird response by me that and then I just started laughing. I don't know what that was.
You're being present. It's probably that moment of like presence where you're like, okay, and your brain just automatically like shifted or something.
It shifted in a second, and I was so glad too, because that was not
Um,
I was always real careful with that with my son, and so anyway, I just thought that was really funny.